Hello guys, and welcome to the eSeniors GT3 Championship, and today we're going to be taking part in the GT4. This is the first race. As we had with the Lamborghinis yesterday, it's taking place at Barcelona. A lot of nice liveries, and my technical issues have already started straight out the batting box, so yeah, that's gone really well. I've basically lost my stream deck, so I'll just have to use the good old menus in Streamlabs, so it's probably not going to be as glamorous as normal, but I'll try my best. I can still control the cameras, can still control the cars and stuff like that, so hopefully it won't, cause too many problems for yourselves watching the stream. Now the grid has got 38 cars on it. That's massive. We're limited to 45, so we're not far off maxing out the GT4s here, which I think is going to be a fantastic race. On a circuit that can have its moments, it's fair to say, and have its challenges. I can see cars going off and pile-ups going on as a result of the cars going off. So rather than one-on-one contacts, I can see instances of cars going off and causing problems, shall we say. So without further ado, I will have to manually go to the street. Hopefully you can all hear me loud and clear. You can see the picture, nice and clear, high quality. And as you can see there from the timing tower, it's absolutely level. It is full, absolutely traffic. So we're going to go out with the drivers, qualifying, 8 minutes to go. Pick on Derek today. What we'll do is about now? Can you hear me okay now? Is the car volume gone? I'll wait for some feedback on that. So Chris is going down the straight. You'll see he'll brake in a similar place to where Derek did before. Brilliant. Okay, thanks very much, guys. They're the type of things I can't test. If you want me to put the game volume down even further, just say so, and I will do. Other than that, I'll keep jabbering on and try and keep as entertained as possible. So I was saying there, which obviously you couldn't hear me, is Chris playing a bit of a blinder here? Because the Ginetta GT4 Championship is a separate 5 race, and he's using this car as he did last season actually. This puts him in a really good position for obviously that championship, because he's going to be familiar. Now there is another couple of drivers using it. Don Queen's using it, and Dimitri. Now I can't really tell from here who's using what. What I will try and put up on the screen though is the manufacturer of the car, and you should see that on the timing channel. So you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the Ginetta. Now that timing tower is only showing 27 cars. There are 39 on track. So what that means is you're not going to see all cars. We've got one person in the Corvette, which is Hugo. So let's just see where Hugo is at the moment. Our Uruguayan friend. Yeah, I'll go to the outside view so we can see. And he's obviously the number 444. He's already put a lap in, a 1:57. Again, respectable. Bearing in mind Hugo isn't a Group 1 racer. I will say the GT4 is more of a balancer than the GT3 because you've got less to do with the car. So consequently, you know, the guys who can tune cars really, really well, there's little they can do with the GT4 because its aero's pretty much fixed, and there's a lot about it that you don't have control over. So a lot of this does come down to driving skill, and I know some of the drivers are very skilled anyway. But ultimately, you know, that's the car itself is really good fun. It's a lot easier to drive than GT3. Saying that, you know, you can still make mistakes in it, but equally, you know, it's I'd say it's a beginner's car. So anybody new to ACC or new to the group and is still working out whether they can race with us or not, this is a great championship to be in. So Hugo's slightly up on his previous lap. We'll just follow Hugo round as he goes through this lap, because he is looking he's lost a lot of time there. One corner you can lose so much. So I'm going to switch to Johan, Mr. Larson. So he's in the Porsche. Now this Porsche is meant to be the best all-rounder as a GT4, and I've driven this in the second season, and it is a good car, but don't ever put it into first gear. My word. If you put it into first gear, just forget it. It'll just take you off the track. I don't know even why it's got a first gear, to be honest, because it's a completely pointless gear. I think there's another car like that as well. I think the Aston's the same. Some of the tracks, if you really slow corners, you go to put it in first gear to get the drive out, it just goes, no, bye, and takes you straight off track. So the Porsche is a good all-rounder. So I think the Porsche, not many people have picked the Porsche. I'm just looking down the list. I think there's about 6 Porsches. There's three Corvettes now. There's one Alpine. Now that's quite a nice little car. I'm going to jump on board with the Alpine, so I'm going to find Mr. Howells in this huge long list. And there you can see him in the green and the red with the yellow tints Alpine. His best is a 1:56. He's currently sitting 12th. He's 2/10 up. That won't better his position in the table. But consequently, he's actually going quicker now. He's looking at possibly taking 11th off Danny Britos. So we'll just see how he goes on. Is he going to do it? He's just moved up to 11th. He just took an extra bit of time off Danny Britos there. So Steve Howells has now put himself into 11th position. So yeah, this is quite interesting. Pole at the moment is Mr. Rogers in PWS. PWS along with Aqua Green and Syndeo are our sponsors. Again, without our sponsors and all the donations everybody makes, we couldn't offer and provide the service we do. So everybody who donates, we are truly grateful, and we're certainly grateful to our sponsors. You know, I think this is a sign of where eSeniors is going when people are prepared to invest in the group we've got. So really, really grateful for that. There's Nico. Hi, Nico. But with John Saunders, one of the quicker guys, if you've seen him, he's had some cracking races recently with Chris Bourne and Branko. Branko's turning out to be a bit of a demon behind that wheel. I know he's got a couple of friends, Borat and Roman, in the chat. But yeah, certainly you're all fantastic additions actually to the group. I know Borat could only race in certain races, but certainly yourself, Roman, and from Branko's perspective, absolutely fantastic to have you on board. And some of the racing you've been involved in has just been brilliant, and you guys are so clean. So I just want to take that opportunity to just thank you really, and hope you enjoyed the stream and continue to race. So qualifying's over. God knows how I'm going to do the grid walk. There is too many cars to try. I will try. I always like a challenge. It does mean though that I can't really do my intro. I'll try, but yeah, I don't think that's going to go well. So let me have a go. Okay, so this is, as I said, this is really going to be a challenge. Well, here we go. I can't even see who's in pole position. Mark Rogers in pole, Derek Bird second, Mark Christopher in third in the black Aston, Chris Bourne in his usual purple livery in the Ginetta. You've got David Gerrard, then you've got Branko Bejat, got John Saunders, Neil Bywater in, wow, I think someone's got a skin wrong there a little bit. Then we've got Mershay in the BMW. And we've got Johan in the Porsche. We've then got Howells. We've then got Britos. We've then got Stathis. And I'm looking down the list trying to work out where I am. We've then got Terry Trowbridge. We've then got Stepani. We've got Ambro, Don Queen in the purple and black car. We've then got Andy Goddard. We've got Krista in the silver Mercedes. Robert Abando in the orange car. We've got Jeremy, and we've got Ellis in the Ginetta. In the Porsche, we've got Kevin Torrance and then John Wilson in the Camaro. We've then got another Camaro, which is John Pescia. Got Willie Owens in, that looks like an Alpine. We've also got Hugo in the Camaro. We've got Mike Dearlove in the BMW. Another BMW, we've got Thierry Ars. Then we've got Melvin Garland, Peter David, Andy Skelton, David Blythe, Becca Loram, John Collins, Mike Molesky, Peter Miles, Joe Bekovac, and at the back we've got Rob Houpier. Managed to do it with 19 seconds to go. So yeah, hell of a challenge. Let's see where that takes us. I mean, to be honest, I don't think I've ever seen a grid go round the corner so much like this one did. I was going round the corner then. Wow, what a fantastic grid. The pole time was a 1:54.1, Jonathan. Hi, welcome to the stream. And we're racing 39 cars. I think 1:54.1 was right anyway, if anybody wants to correct me in the chat. That's what I think I registered. I just hope we don't get any incidents early on, because there's absolute, it'll be bedlam, that first corner. I think Neil Bywater's been doing a skin and forgot to switch it off, because he's got a template there for doing skins on his car. Maybe that's his point. And look at the back, we've already had a car spin, and you don't want to be doing that. He's going to be out of position, he could get a penalty. He's got away with it there. Very interesting. So I'm just watching the grid. There's a lot of cars on that grid. There's a big pile of them towards the back, but I am keeping an eye on all at the moment. Everyone's coming down straight. Some good gains made early on here. Nothing at the start. Nothing there. Maybe like one or two brushes. And there's a car spun. That's Chris Bourne. And Mark Christopher and Chris Bourne have come together. Let's just have a quick look at that. So Chris Bourne is in the purple Ginetta, and Mark Christopher is in one of the black Aston Martins. So let's see what's happened there. Chris Bourne's well out of trouble there, no problem. He's up the side. Difficult one that. It also brings Merche into it. Now the other guys behind did extremely well there to avoid contact. So I think, I mean, Chris Bourne's lost out quite a lot there. I don't know where he is on the grid. Let me just see if I can find him. And there's been another incident with Robert and Andy Skelton. I don't know whether it'll let me go back to that one because of how far play's gone on. There's been another incident with these three cars, Ambrose, Stathis and Bywater. Bywater's lost a few places. Again, I can't work out who the contact started with there. I'll try and keep an eye on the replays, and when the replays are available I'll switch to them. You can see there's a lot of people trying to make... Whoa! And we have a car taking off. I'm really not sure who that is, but we've had another incident there, and that was Christopher and Branco. Let's go back to that one. We've just had a car take off into space. I'm not too sure what's happened, but someone's lost the connection. Was that Don Queen? That one that took off. So we've got Mark Christopher on the inside, Branco on the outside. It wasn't much of a contact, to be fair, that. I think it was just a case of Mark was just carrying around the corner, and Branco was just there. Obviously was a bit quicker going into the corner there. More contact towards the back. John Collins has had contact but still running. Mike Dearlove's had contact, or it looks like he's had contact in the spun. And I don't know whether, let's have a quick look at that one, see if that was contact with John Collins, because they were together on track. You can see there's a bit of a they're all batching up here together. Oh, that's chaos. Look at them all coming charging down. The Mike's got on the inside, no problem. Oh, he's been hit there. So he was hit. I think that was the John Collins car. So John Collins has hit him there, and that means Mike Dearlove's gone towards the back. He isn't last, there's a couple of cars behind him. Don Queen is the car that took off into outer space before. I think Don Queen is now out of the race. He's not on the server, no times are being registered. Ooh, what an interesting start. Right, let's see if we can find some battles. So we've got a bit of a battle going on between these two, which is Krista and Andrew. So let's... Aaron, hi Aaron. Welcome to the stream. I don't think I've had you on stream before, Aaron, but if you're new to us, click on the like and obviously please subscribe. Let's get the numbers up. And if you have already registered with us, my apologies for missing your name. I do usually know all the names of every member, so you might have slipped through the net there. So my apologies for that. Yeah, that gap's now eased off a little bit, so I'm just going to keep an eye. Neil Bywater's moving forward. Hugo is putting pressure on Andy Goddard. Well, Hugo's in the Camaro. Andy Goddard is in the McLaren in front of him. Hugo's one of the new guys, and you can see Andy Goddard's really fighting with that car, that McLaren. I don't know whether he's running a really low downforce, like, you know, he's running his wing quite low to give him a bit of speed. But you can see there, Kevin in the Porsche is absolutely flying here. We've got a cracking run on that Camaro. Right, that's a very clean pass. Is he going up the inside? Whoa, that was... I'm going to use the word ambitious. Very ambitious. Wow. Wow. I was going to say he was never going to get that one to stick coming from that far down. You can see there's a couple of cars behind these two, Peter Stepani and Kevin. So Kevin's obviously lost a bit of time there, but he's obviously quick. He just needs to watch his braking points really. You can see Jeremy's behind these two as well. I think it was Jeremy. Yeah, there's Jeremy in the brown, a metallic brown Mercedes, and the two cars behind, that running nice there. And that was Willie passing John Wilson. So Willie's also, I think, in the Alpine. Willie's got really together there, and he's putting pressure on Jeremy now as well. And Jeremy's putting pressure on Kevin. He's going to go up the inside here. Kevin's going to yield to him because he's obviously got the better run. But I've got a feeling Kevin's going to get a good run here. But look at Willie. Willie's eyeing them both up. He's making his intention made there to go the outside. Kevin's gone defensive to protect himself from Willie coming round. So far so good. Decent racing there. And you can see the two cars behind. Wilson, Petcher and Stathis are also battling as well. So nice little battles going on around the track here. Oh, Kevin's gone wide, and that's allowed the two cars to pass him. The three cars are going to pass him. He gets himself back into his slot. But Willie's moved up a place. So Willie's now into 22nd. Willie's now chasing down Jeremy, but Jeremy does seem to have a bit of a canter on now. He's just put a bit of a gap between them, so I'll keep an eye on that. I'm going to go to the front because Merch is putting pressure on Branco here. The Merch is in the BMW and Branco's in the McLaren. Now, Merch driven this car last season. He knows it very, very well. Now, another GT4s did have aero changes as well as part of the 1.8 update, but they probably won't affect these as much, and he was extremely fast. Right, there's been two cars off. I need to check what's going on there because they're falling down the leaderboard. I can't quite catch it. Let's have a look. Two cars have gone off. That's Willie, and I think it was Collins. I think it was Wilson. It was Wilson and Owens. That Camaro's massive. Look at the size difference. Willie's he's overcooked it, and they've both been taken out. So he's just overcooked the power coming out the corner and kept it planted, and consequently that means both cars are gone off the track and will rejoin towards the back of the grid. Now, Mark Christopher's actually managed to pass Branco. Branco passed him, but then Christopher's got it back. So I don't know if Christopher made an error there and allowed Branco in. But it does mean that Branco's putting pressure on Mark Christopher now. Now again, Mark, I think, is good in the Aston. So I think we'll see Mark put a good battle up. But we know how quick Branco is. That's the chat. Nico, I think if you read the rules, it stipulates the country is no longer mandatory. And there you can see, Christopher then just got it completely wrong, and he's handed a place to Branco on a plate there, and that means now Christopher's going to have to battle with Merch. We know, as I said, Merch is a quick driver when he gets himself back into place there. Branco's now chasing down David Gerrard, where he's 3.5 seconds behind. There's been more contact, these two cars, Terry Trowbridge and Krista. I'm not too sure what's happened there. Let's have a quick look. So Krista's in the silver, Terry's in the green. Krista's had a great run, goes up the inside. That was never gonna work, I think that. Terry luckily managed to keep it going. There will be damage to the cars, but it'll be very, very minor. But yeah, they kept going, so minor contact there in the grand scheme of things. The replay's still playing, so I can't switch back yet to the action. 3, 2, 1, and we're back to the live action. Okay. John Saunders up front is putting pressure. He's also got the fastest lap. He's putting pressure on Derek Bird. So you can see these three cars together are basically first, second, and third. Look how close they are. And David Gerrard's behind them, and Branco's behind him. Branco is losing ground on David Gerrard now. So I think these three guys... Oh, what's happened there? John Saunders' car just appeared to stop. Has he got control problems there? Because again, he just seemed to stop. How bizarre. Yeah, it looked like the car just lost power there. That's very, very odd. I don't think I've seen that before. I mean, that was a proper die. Yeah, as I said, Nico, it's not mandatory anymore. So yeah, a lot of battling going on here. I think Saunders is going to come back, but I don't know what caused that with John then. That's very, very bizarre. Right, Mark Christopher and Merche. Oh, Merche's off. There's been contact with him and Mark Christopher. So I think this is the third incident Mark Christopher's been involved in. And again, I'm not too sure which ones he's been guilty of. Oh, he's gone off track there and he's hit the curb. He's fine there, no problem. No problem there. Yeah, I think that's a difficult one. Very difficult one. The stewards will need to look at that. Right, let's carry on looking down the grid and see where the battles are. So Chris Bourne, let's look at Chris. Chris lost a lot of time early on. He's now caught up to John Pettier. Obviously John knows Chris is a quick guy. He's letting go. And Chris is now hunting down our friend Jeremy. So Jeremy is in 19th place and has lost a place somewhere along the line, so I don't know if he's been off in the car. But I think we'll see Chris charge through that field a little bit. I'm going to jump back to Robert Abando, because Robert's putting pressure on Kevin. We've already seen Kevin is looking quick, but the balance of the car doesn't seem right, and occasionally just seems to over-rotate it, putting power out of the corners. But you can just see the track map. The guys in front have pulled away quite a lot, you know, and then there seems to be little pockets of cars racing. You can see that's Peter Miles there. He's having a great race. Let's just jump forward a little bit. Melvin's had contact. I'm just going to go to this because there's a lot of cars just seem to have lost positions. So Melvin's in the one with the red bonnet. I'm not too sure who that is in front of him, but he's cleanly passed. Oh, what? I don't quite understand that there. What's happened there? 57. So who was the 57? That I think it said 57 anyway. David Blythe. Okay, so I don't know if he just got his braking point wrong there, but he's lost a lot of time. That's what I couldn't understand. It seemed to be a few cars lost a lot of places all of a sudden. That dive's never going to work. You can see it happening. I mean, I know I've got the benefit of being able to see the race from the top, but the drivers have also got a certain amount of vision, and they've got tools. You know, everyone's got to realise they've got to be able to stop the car, and I think that was Peter David and John Collins there, and that was John Collins, I think, who went for the, you know, the very ambitious move up the inside, shall we say. Yeah, Chris Bourne's flying, Ollie, absolutely flying. He's now up to 19th place, and he's looking on his next victim. I'm going to call them victims because he seems to just chew them up and spit them out. Is Jeremy, so I think he'll get Jeremy on the straight. Yeah, it might even get him here, looking at the speed. Jeremy won't fight him. As soon as Chris goes up the inside, Jeremy will give him the space. But then he's got another two cars in front of him, which is Peter Stepani and Thierry Ars. So it'll be interesting to see how quick he can dispatch them. And there you go, Jeremy's letting go. And Jeremy just carry on racing, and then Chris can carry on catching the other guys up. So again, it's looking like another fantastic race. Yeah, Nico Merch in the pits. Be interesting to see what the stewards come up with on that one. I watched it, I've got a view. From my perspective, well, I'm not going to say because it's not fair me saying on the stream, is it really? So have we just had another off and a car quit to the pits? So we've got Mike Dealove here. He's near no one. Well, we lost a car at the front. That span. Contact there. So far, so good. Nothing going on. So far, so good. Oh. Alright, two cars making contact there. And Mike's tried to take the curb on the inside, and that car's just gone clean off track. That's gone clean off track and escaped to the pits, I presume. Was that Andy Goddard? It was. So I don't know if Andy Goddard's had a control problem there. Very odd indeed. Right, on board with the fantastic livery. Nico, you need to have a word with Neil Bywater. He's running with a car with what do you call it? The template numbers on it. I'll have a look at. I'll go to the chase cam of Neil's car. Recognise them, Nico. Oh no, it's the periodic table, isn't it? I've just realised. I thought it was actually a template. It's the periodic table he's splashed all over his car. Wow, that's going to take some reading. I've never seen that. He's got a cracking run there on Andrew, the 515. Great pass there, very easily done. He's got a lot of pace, hell of a lot of pace. So that's the Neil we know. You know, very quick. You see Andrew there was not giving up, but obviously Neil's a little bit quicker in the corners there. Let's go. I'm going to go back to Helicam. I'm going to go back to Branco. Branco's really putting pressure on David Gerrard now, and there is battles all over the place. It's very difficult for me to keep track of all this. I'm going to jump back because we've got a 3-car battle here. Chris Bourne has just gone through the pair of them, and these two, which is Peter and Thierry, are battling, and you can see Jeremy's joined in again now. So Jeremy's looking at the back end. I think that's Peter in the... Yeah, that's Peter in the Porsche. Andrew Ambro has managed to pass Neil Bywater again. So back to that battle. Ambro's managed to go past him again. Great racing by Andrew, this. Peter David's had contact. He doesn't seem to have lost places. John Collins has had contact. I don't think they were related. Looking at it. No, I don't think they were related because I think they were in different parts of the track. Ambro's looking really quick, and now Neil's got Terry and Krista barking behind him now. They're coming close. So quick scan down the table, and I'm going to jump to Willie. Willie is in a battle with Andy Skelton in front, and behind him is David. I think it's David Blythe behind him. Or is that I'm trying to work out who's behind him there. So it is David Blythe behind him. Andy Skelton in front of him, and in front of Andy Skelton is Rob Hupier. Oh, well, that can't be right. No, Mike Molesky, that was better. The timing board was slow updating then, and it didn't show me who was in the right positions. But Willie's still putting pressure. Seems to have found his niche in that Alpine actually. And then behind him we've got Andy. So he has passed Andy Skelton in the Ginetta. Good little battles going on around the track. As you can see, the drivers from each group almost together. Let's go to who can we go on board with now? So we've still got a battle going on with Jeremy. Mark Rogers, Derek Bird and Saunders are 3.5 seconds between them. So they're still at the front. And David Gerrard's 2 seconds behind, and Branco's within a second of Gerrard. Mark Christer is 7 seconds down. I think there may well be investigation into one of Mark Christopher's moves. This battle seems to be settled down as well, because Jeremy's not the diving type. He's not likely to go and take the dive, and obviously Dimitri behind him, who's I think Dimitri's also in a Ginetta. Dimitri's a gentleman driver as well, so I think you're going to have to status quo with them two drivers. Unless someone makes a blatant mistake, I think they're just going to stay in situ. Now, the car in front of them, Peter Stepani, I think I could be wrong. I think that could be Stefan Buckley's friend. And I think it's Stefan who got him here. I could be wrong on that, and if I am wrong, I apologise in advance. I'm going to change the display to the gaps, actually, so you can see the gaps. The personal best doesn't really matter, does it? You can now see the gaps on what I'm seeing. Yeah, Nico, I think that's. I think some of them. You know, you say they're in Group 3 and Group 2. I said that this car's a leveller, and I think it does leave it up a little bit. Jeremy's got a great run here now, a really good run. Looks like he's going to make the pass, and he's now chasing down Thierry and the BMW in front of him. So BMW v BMW. The back end just slide out ever so slightly on Jeremy. Then he held that and kept it really well, to be fair. So fair dues to that. I'm going to jump forward just a couple of cars to Lee Ellis. Not been on board with Lee. Lee's been putting pressure on Hugo in the Camaro. So Lee Ellis himself is in a Ginetta. And you can see just who's turned up behind them. Chris Bourne. So Chris Bourne's going to be looking to pass these two guys. And this will put Chris into 12th or 14th position. But he's got a journey to catch Krista. He's got 14 seconds to catch Krista. So that could be a bridge too far for him. Even Chris Bourne has his limits, I would imagine. I think Hugo's Group 3, Nico. I don't think he's been racing too long. He's a very pleasant person. I chat to him. There's obviously a language barrier. I do use the Google Translate quite a lot speaking to him, and you know, I do respect he does try and speak to me in English as well, but sometimes he puts his messages in and I just reply back in his native tongue using Google Translate. That does seem to work quite well between us, but he does speak to me quite a lot. He was speaking today about, is he allowed to enter this? When I said it's a free for all, you don't need to register. So he's managed to jump in at the last minute, and he's going to be enjoying this. He's really going to be enjoying it because he's 14th in a field of over 30 odd cars. You know, now I know you might think, well, surely he's Group 2, but no, this track is a leveller. And there goes Chris. Chris is dumping up the inside, and he's going to pass Hugo. Hugo won't fight him. I'm going to have to be made to eat my words now, because Chris is just braking a lot later. You can see the difference in braking. And Chris almost seems to drift the car into the corner. So Chris has now got a huge gap between him and Krista, 15 seconds. And he's got 17 minutes. So that's going to take a bit of a challenge. And you can still see Lee is still putting pressure on Hugo. He's got a good run there, actually. That Camaro's got a cracking engine noise to it. Proper grunty. I had great fun in that car in the one we had at Bathurst. That was so much fun. And it was nice to drive a different car. You know, as I said before, all these different cars. I actually thought the Lambo yesterday was brilliant. I didn't really like the Lambo. If you get it set up right, it's a lovely car. And that engine, it's got a few little quirks though. While this race on, I'm just going to talk about the quirks I felt. The brakes are awful. So first of all, the brakes are appalling on it, and its steering is woeful. Coming out the last bend onto the straight, in the GT3s you can absolutely throttle it. You found that if you want to take it as full tilt as possible, you just had to ease off for a split second before you put the power down, otherwise you'd be into the sand. So it had a few little funny quirks, and the steering seemed to be laid with its default setup. You had to play with the steering to get the setup right. You can get a bit more responsive, but it just felt it had a few little quirks. And it seemed to go through a threshold with the tyres as well. It used to burn the tyres out quite early on, or cause a problem with the tyres, but then it come back to you quite quick. Now there's been an incident on track here, but neither car have lost position. So I do think it was just a tap. That was between Robert and Dimitri. You can see the Robert is absolutely launching it over the curbs. Jeremy's still trying to catch Thierry. In fact, Jeremy's very close to Thierry now. Just going to jump on that. Thierry's defending. Very good defending there. But I'll tell you though, he's not giving up behind. He's sticking with the pair of them. Oh, there's been an incident. Let's have a look what's going on here. Oh God, talking about hitting somebody, well and truly. That's when you get your braking point wrong. I don't know about braking bad, but that was the braking point going bad there. So yeah, it's incident between Terry and Neil there. Would you like me link there with Breaking Bad, by the way? Nico and Neil's car. Anyway, where were we? So we were following Jeremy, but Jeremy's just eased off a little bit. In fact, Peter's now putting pressure on Jeremy. That was close. I think he's just backed off a little bit there. You could see that. John Queen's just gone off track, but he's back on track again. So I think he just went deep into a corner. Hi, Merch. Sorry to see you go off. But yeah, it's when you go off into the wall like that, it's game over, innit? Unfortunately. Johan's had an incident. Again, I think that was just a tap because there's no cars off track and no cars. It hasn't told me who the incident was with, incidentally. But yeah, there's a couple of. Looks like there's a couple of a car come together there. Back at the front, I'm going to do a quick rundown of the grid. Mark Rogers is at front with Derek very close behind. So Derek's within a second. So Mark's first, Derek is in second place. And then 2 seconds behind, we've got John Saunders. So they've just started to put a bit of daylight now between them and John. John is now 4 seconds clear of Branco. Branco is 1 second clear of David. So David is now catching Branco a little bit there. Mark Christopher is 8 seconds behind David in the Black Aston Martin. Steve Owls is 6 seconds behind Mark Christopher. As you can see, they're coming around the same area of the track. Danny Britos is 8 seconds behind. He's having a great run, to be fair. Johan Larsson, you can see there in the line, Porsche, is just behind. Andrew Ambro is just behind. Terry Trowbridge has gone off. He's lost a couple of places. He's just getting himself going again. I don't know if he's hit a wall. We'll get to Terry in a minute. Vista is in the silver Mercedes at the back of that bunch. Then we've got Neil Bywater in the periodic Porsche. And then he's being hunted down by Chris Bourne, who's now only 6 seconds behind, as you can see the top of that straight. Then in 14th place, on his first GT4 race with us, we've got Hugo Caballero. He's 7 seconds behind, and he's being chased down by Leah Ellis, who's less than a second behind that. We've then got Terry Trowbridge. His car's not looking damaged, so I don't think he's at a wall, but he did go off. And then behind Terry, we've got Jeremy, who's in 17th place. Behind Jeremy by a second and a half, we've got Pete, who's just put his lock wheels on there. You can see the black marks being there. He's really put his brakes on, his anchors. And then behind him, 1.5 seconds, we've got Thierry, just sat there as well. 4 seconds behind that, we've got Robert Abando, who's just sitting there in 20th place, so halfway up the leaderboard really. Dimitri Stathis, 1.8 seconds behind him. Had a couple. I think he's had a couple of contacts, but only like contacts. Again, cars alongside each other. Peter Miles behind him in the Porsche. You can see we've then got a little cluster of cars. Kevin Torrance, who's in the other Porsche behind that, and then Melvin Garland in the BMW with the red bonnet behind that. So they're within a second of each of them. We've then got Peter David, which is a second and a half behind, and Peter David is in the blue Porsche there. And then we've got John Pescia, who's in the Camaro. You can just see the front of that Camaro looks so big in comparison to the Porsche, and it makes the Alpine look like a dwarf as well. Got Becca Dorham. So Becca's coming around in the McLaren. He's 3 seconds behind, and then John Wilson is 8 seconds behind Becca, again in the Camaro. We've then got Mike Molesky, who's just over a second behind that car, and then we've got Rob Houpier, who's 1 second behind that, and Rob is in the Porsche. Behind that we have the Ginetta of Andy Skelton. You can see he's in a gaggle of cars. We've got the Alpine of Willie, and then we've got John Collins behind that, who's in one of the McLarens. 1.3 seconds further back, we've then got Mike Dearlove in the BMW, and then 4 seconds behind that, we've got David Blythe in the McLaren. 6 seconds behind that, we have Joe Bekovac, and then on last place on the grid at the moment is Don Queen. Okay, now I'm sure Don's car took off before, so don't know, he's had connection issues. He's 3 laps down. That tells me he's had a problem. I think it was his car he went off before. So let's see where we are. Peter David is putting pressure on Kevin. This is the battle of the Porsches. Peter's in the dark car and Kevin's in the light one. Oh, we nearly got hit then by the Camaro of John, putting real good pressure on these guys. There's some good battles up and down the field there. think, Merch, you know, we did see the incident. I want to try and obviously not be too obvious on the stream. I think the stewards will look into it. What the issue I saw was the fact that he'd gone off track previously, so obviously he's going to have dirty tyres. So I think the stewards will look at that, but obviously that will need to be logged. So, you know, I'm not saying, Merch, it's up to you to log it, but this isn't a live stewarded race. So, you know, if you want action, you will need to log that in the relevant channel. Oh, and the Camaro's just gone wide there a little bit. But come on, Merch, on a positive note, the racing we had yesterday, mate, absolutely fantastic. Thoroughly enjoyed that. And the fact that we stayed together in some of the corners, no contact, absolutely brilliant. I was absolutely worn out after that race, absolutely worn out. But yeah, really good racing yesterday, really enjoyed that. And hopefully it's not the last time, although I hope I can pass you more. Can anybody convert that? I don't recognise the name, and obviously I can't read the writing. So if somebody can translate that for me, I'd appreciate that, so I can at least reply back. I don't know if it's an eSeniors member, but unfortunately I can't read that. So Nico, are you able to translate? Merch, is anybody able to translate that? Okay, let's go back and try and keep up with some other battles. So Krista's putting pressure now on Johan. Oh, he's just gone deep there as well, Johan, and that's allowed Krista to go on the outside. Krista's going to get the line. He's got the line. He just needs, and in fact, look, Johan. Oh, contact. Has he kept it? Has he kept it? He's kept it, Ambro. Yeah. Just need to be aware of your inside line. Sometimes it can be easily contact could easily be made. And there's tools in the game to allow you to see where drivers are. And that's something I was speaking with the stewards about. You know, there's plenty of tools in the game, and yet people sometimes just make the little taps. So, frustrating. Yeah, cheers, Merch. Yeah, I always look at it, and you know, I can get taken out in a race, get frustrated, but at the end of the day, you go back on track and you race the person again. Hopefully the same thing won't happen again. So I think Krista's struggling to get the better of Johan here. Again, Johan's another new driver. In fact, someone's taken out all the signs there. There's bits flying around, all sorts there. Someone's really took the signs out. Mr. Christopher did, Jonathan. Right, there's been an incident here. Let's see what's gone on. Coming round here. Kevin's got. Oh, he's off track. Oh, that was so unfortunate. I think Kevin's realised he had outbroke himself and has tried to bail, but he's never going to stop the car in the grass, and that means he's made contact with Peter. That was very unfortunate. That. Okay, let's jump forward. Neil Bywater is looking to pass Ambro again. The periodic Porsche and the Ambro Aston. Great race in there, great race in there. Translate from Russian. Watch my channel, Alcozar Niklovich. Put dislikes. Lol, I don't dislike vids in YouTube, so sorry, mate. Hey, Mr. Ambro's looking racy this season. He's not been in many races in the, towards the end of last season, but it looks like he's coming back in he's been, I don't know if he's updated equipment, he's been doing a lot of practice, but he's looking really fast. And you can see now Chris Bourne is catching them. Now is Chris Bourne going to get into the top 10? That's the challenge, and that's the question. Ollie's just, I presume, Ollie, that's what you're on about. Mr. Bourne, look who's lurking. I'm only going to assume that's what you're referring to, but yeah, I did pick up on it. There's a gaggle of cars in front of him, look at that. I bet he sat there salivating, thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars any day. Let's see how well he does. If he takes all them, he's into the top 10. Oh, he nearly lost the back end as he pushed it too much and his tyres have gone. That's the first time I've seen him lose control of the car. That back end nearly went then. He's riding the curbs for fun. Look at the pace. He's going to get Amber on the straight here. Possibly. Oh, Neil went really, really wide there. And that means, oh, there's a bit of lag with a couple of the cars there. But if anybody else picked up on that, a little bit of lag. Johan's car was bouncing around a little bit. Is Ambro going up the inside of Neil? What a battle these two are having. Wow. And then Chris takes one of them. Chris takes Neil. Neil's giving that place up there. Oh, he's got loose again. I'm wondering if his back tyres have just gone a little bit. Your rear left on this track gets chewed up. In fact, you can see Neil's getting him again here, because these are racing for position. Oh, Chris! Oh, he's really struggling, isn't he? That back end just doesn't want to go where he wants it to go. He's got the run there. I think Neil's realised he can have him here. He's not giving up. I mean, Chris has got the line there. Definitely got the line in the corner. With this corner coming up, not this one, this next right-hander. Be interested to see whether Chris drifts. The back end goes a little bit when he puts the power down. No, he's all right there. But look how much time they've lost from the cars in front. They've lost nearly a second on Ambro there. This is the corner coming up where he over-rotated before. Let's see what he does. Because this is for position. It's not just Chris going through the field. This is for position. Ah, he's all right that time. It must have been just a one-off. So he is human, after all. Neil's struggling now, I think. Oh, effort he's putting in, things just took a bit out of the car. 2 minutes to go in the race. This is now gaining on Ambro. And there's been a bit of an incident at the further up. Britos there's been a bit of contact, but not race ruining. I think they've just had a bit of a tap. Chris has put massive pressure on now, and you can see Chris. Yeah, you can see Chris Bourne's behind. So I'm going to keep on this a little bit, and let's see where this battle transpires. Because we're going to know if Chris passes Ambro. John Saunders is now 0.3 seconds behind Derek Bird at the front. Hi Richard, thanks for joining. Yeah, John Saunders is putting pressure on Derek, but as you can see, this track's difficult to pass. And you're really looking for a mistake. Crystal's looking like he's got his car bolted for this second part of the race. Been fantastic. Oh, Chris is very close to Ambro. Chris is on the grass digging sandcastles. And now the leader is on the last lap. Chris is going to struggle now for on the last lap. I'm going to jump. So I'm going to keep with these for the minute, but I am going to jump to the front in a second. Chris is going wide again. Just keeps. I think he wants to play with some sand. He's picking some sand up on his way. Chris is not giving up. He's setting his car up straight here. Mind you, so's Johan behind him. I think Johan's going to get a good run of this. And Neil Bywater off again. I think Chris Bourne's going to get Ambro if he's got a good enough run. No, he's struggling. Ambro's got a great run in that Aston. Chris going to go for it? No, Chris won't go for that. Right, I'm going to jump and switch to Mark Rogers. Mark Rogers has had a great run, to be fair. He's led from the start and he's just got on with it. So really good, been a good race up front. And the guys behind have kept him honest as well. Derek has been with him most of the way. John Saunders had just put a lot of pressure on Derek, but I think he must have made a mistake because he's now dropped back again. But these three guys have been at it for a good portion of the race. But yeah, fantastic for Mr. Rogers that. I'm trying to work, he's got dents on his bonnet as well. That implies there's been contact, yeah. So he's been involved with something. He's got marks on his car. Yeah, no other cars around him. Interesting. Don't recall seeing anything. Could be wrong. There's our winner. Second place, Derek. Fantastic result, Derek. John Saunders, fantastic. John, these three were outstanding. And look at that, within 3 seconds, Branco on his debut season in the GT4. Well done, Branco. And then David Gerard coming up the field behind that. And then Mark Christopher coming up the field behind that. And then Steve Howells in 7th place, coming around the start of the last part of the track. Been a good run this for Mr. Howells. Yeah, it's come round. Good run that for Howells in the Alpine. And then Danny Britos in this barrage of cars. Look at the state of that. All of them. In fact, they had contact, them two. Got Hugo coming round. Hugo, again, this is his first race in the GT4 with us. Fantastic. Finishing ahead of Terry Trowbridge and Lee Ellis. So that's, I'm sure he'll be pleased with that. 14th. Can't take that away from him, can you? And there's the next 3 sets of cars. Fantastic. Then we've got Jeremy, who's coming round in 17th. And he's been battling with these guys for the whole race, and Peter's looking like he's trying to take him. No, he hasn't. Again, great battles. Then there's Robert, and then we've got Thierry coming round the BMW in the BMW, the Vroom BMW. Well done, Thierry. B20, and then behind that we've got Becker. Oh, he's just lost out. Melvin took him. Melvin took him. Oh, he just eased off. And then we've got Rob, and then all the other cars coming home now. John Collins and David Blythe. And that's it, everyone. Thanks for watching. What a fantastic race that was. If you haven't already, don't forget to click like. And if you haven't, subscribe. Okay, thanks very much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And you'll see us again soon, either on track or streaming. Bye all.